Okay, so just wanted to do another match
Mankind they
analysis.
cannot change
Played a
society.
couple of, or
Duel
played
1.
two different Nagos today, and figured this would be a good opportunity to go over the matchup again. In particular, just to go over kind of the, I guess, contrasting styles that I saw between the two. So the first set was with a pretty good Nago named Can of Patience. Very strong Nago, actually. And the second one is against LK, who I played last time. And thought it would be a good opportunity just to kind of go through and look at some of the differences in the matchup. So we'll start off with Patience. He is probably the stronger of these two Nagos. He's definitely better in the Geo matchup, and just kind of go over thought processes and some of the different ins and outs of fighting Nago as Giovanna, and just how I approach the matchup, and maybe from the other side as well, how Nago should potentially be thinking about things as well. So we'll get started, and I'll just kind of commentate as I go along. So start off. He's 6P there after that run up 5K, and that's kind of something to pay attention to. Yeah, you don't really want to be jumping there, so he's gonna eat that combo. No hard knockdown, and I did a 6P there because I was trying to catch like a button or something. And this right here is one of the things that you'll see about Can of Patience is he's got a very good he can anti-air well, and that definitely changes the nature of the fight. I think it's the most important thing in this matchup as Nagoriyuki is you have to be able to keep Giovanna from jumping. That's a good DP. I did not want to take that damage, so got the burst. Good jump. Now just kind of blocking and trying to get out of the corner because I really don't want to be there as Nago. And you'll see me jab Spirit Step quite a lot. Miss my meaty there. I think it's one of the more important things in this fight. There's the backdash again. I saw him press before, so do the cancel and just try and keep him from getting away with stuff there. And this is a bad situation because, yeah, if he gets hit, he's probably dead. Yeah, super dead. And I probably shouldn't have done that combo, to be honest, because if it didn't kill, he wasn't going to stick to the wall. Probably should have used the drill combo that would have guaranteed a wall break in that situation, but I did judge the damage right, so
Duel
worked
1.
out anyway. You know, so me back off again, probably. Oh, not back off. Just round start DP. I didn't do that the first time because I'm pretty afraid of round start DP from Nago, but I guess I had the read there. And Patience is not a super high blood, and another good anti-air from him. But he's not a super high blood kind of risk reward Nago. It was a throw RC, so I have a chance. Can I win it? Probably not, and definitely not. But yeah, Patience, he doesn't tend to play at like very high blood levels, so that's something that I should definitely pay attention to. Another jab check there. Just don't want him getting in stuff. And another great anti-air. And that's, like I said, it's really important that you're able to anti-air. And he's been very clean there. But he's definitely going to not eat that damage because I'm a scrub. That is punishable full screen. So punish it. Didn't quite have the meter to RC it. Yeah, and generally speaking, I'm not going to let you just spirit dash at me from full screen. That's a challenge point that you'll see me use a lot. Patience doesn't really dash in a ton from mid screen, but he does it enough, and he did it twice there just to start off because we were talking about, ooh, that is big damage. That's really not a good burst. It saved me from damage, but it means that the next time I eat like a real combo, I can't get out of it and make him spend his blood. That was a good 2S challenge. And started staggering that because he's been pretty active about pushing there. And he might be dead here. I think he'll just survive, actually. Yeah. But yeah, the fight is... I got lucky there. I was actually trying to do an air super because I tend to air super at people if I'm airborne and they do an RC right up underneath me. Um, but yeah, I'm actually gonna pause it before this next match starts because one of the things that is important in this fight is because Patience is the reason he's able to anti-air me is because he's not committing to bigger buttons in neutral. So that's the first thing that I'm looking for when I'm fighting a Nagoriyuki is if they're trying to bully me with like 5H and things like that at mid screen, then I want to IAD at them so that I can come in with big options and get my pressure started. Patience, he keeps anti-airing me partly because he's not throwing out those kinds of heavy committal buttons. So that means that my approach has to be modified to deal with that. So that's why you see me doing a lot of dash up 5K into 5P. And it's a decent option. You actually can whiff punish Nago in a lot of those situations. Um, but it's also not particularly high damage even if I hit you with it, unless you eat like a silly counter hit because you're trying to press, after the 5K or something like that. Um, so yeah, that's probably the safer way for the Nago to play. And obviously sometimes, I'm just trying to dash in and I just eat a 2S or something like that. So uh, good control of the neutral by Patience, and it's part of why this set will look so different from the second set that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Round start DP, feeling kind of froggish, I guess. And I bursted there because I thought that he had spent more blood than he did. Um, 1 bar is really not enough. That's not worth my burst, so that's not a good burst on my part. And it's definitely not a good burst now because you just see me getting mauled. So at this point, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to lose the round. So my main goal is to just try and survive long enough that I actually get some burst back. And did a miserable job of it, but I should get at least 1 more burst back before this ends. Another check on the Spirit Dash. Don't let Nagoriyukis get away with just running in on you like that. And now it's my turn to play. And he's challenged me in a few places. And that's something that I actually didn't notice until I watched a few more of Patience's matches. But he uses 6P quite a lot defensively and as in neutral. I was trying to actually get him to spend his burst. That's why I used that combo, but he wisely chose not to burst. But yeah, Patience uses 6P a lot, so that's something that the next time we play, I'm going to have to kind of challenge him on. And yeah, again, you have to stop Nago from Spirit dashing at you. He gets way too much off of it. So every time he comes in at me like that, you see me just jab 6P. Pretty low committal. If he fade steps back, I can usually still be safe. Trying to catch him with another frame trap. And there's that jab check again. And that's probably not the right yeah, that wasn't the right combo. I should have supered in. I should have confirmed that into a super and then an RC, but it should be fine. So yeah, that's like I said, this is a pretty slow match. Like you don't really see because Patience is playing a slower version of Nago, it means that I'm not exploding even when I make mistakes, which is good for me. But because he's not really going for particularly high damage options and spending a lot of blood, it also means that the rewards that I'm getting on my touches are not usually super high either. Just barely missed the punish there. And you see me, I'm trying to speed up my button timings a bit because he's been challenging so much. And that was just a fail. I'm a little disappointed in myself. That should have been a confirm into super on that last 2-1-4K counter hit, but it's all good. So yeah, that's a really bad place to YRC, if anyone is wondering. When you get that IAD jump in, it's just the easiest thing in the world to bait a YRC there. So I really don't recommend going for it, to be honest. And at this point, I've kind of recognized that Patience is not willing to round start with kind of the gambling options like DP and things like that. So I'm just kind of challenging a lot more at that point. And I had been pressuring him for several seconds at that point, so I thought he would push a button, but was super wrong on that point. and just blocking for life. That was me trying to super and failing and eating a ton of damage because of it, so that's unfortunate. But I've got 100 meters, so I don't really, I'm pretty content to. I'm kind of surprised he got hit there. At this point, I'm expecting projectile, so that's what the jump was about. I was, Nago with no blood and full screen like that. I'm just kind of expecting them to projectile at me, so that's what the jump was about. Kind of lucky I didn't get anti-aired, but that's kind of the breaks there.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
And again, pretty safe round start options from Patience, and that's something good about 2D is you can slide up under that option. And at this point, I'm kind of thinking that, all right, this guy is really blocking a lot, so I should start throwing. That was good anti-air. That was a very bad jump on my part. It was pretty desperate. That was ambitious. But yeah, at this point, I've kind of recognized that, okay, he's pretty willing to block. He's not biting on my frame traps anymore, so I should be going for more throws. And that's a good little super challenge there. I'm not really concerned about that. I've got full bar, so I can kind of wake up with whatever I want. I tried to do backdash YRC and messed it up.
Please don't move. Can't help it.
And missed my OTG off the throw, so the second button didn't come out properly. So I actually distinctly remember being pretty annoyed with that. Saw the 60 after he blocked the sweep, but I didn't drill, so it was fine. Then I got immediately opened up after, and that wasn't fine. Very good tech on his part. Ooh, that was a good jump. And did that because just bad situation. Delay to try and catch him, and at this point I feel like I can win it, but that was a really good throw tech on his part. Full meter again, but I've seen him, he's jumped a bunch of times now when I had full meter, so didn't wake up super, but did wake up trying to steal my turn. Good tech again, and I should be dead. So at this point, this is actually kind of when I realized I think he teched me like 3 times in one match, and as Geo that doesn't really happen because the dash throw stuff is not super reactable. So my thought process now is, okay, he's definitely fuzzy. He's definitely fuzzy teching or fuzzy mashing. He's doing something that's an option select. So now the goal is I need to readjust my own timings. Ooh, that's unfortunate. So we'll see how that looks in practice. But at this point, I'm pretty sure that he's mashing. So he's doing fuzzy mashes. So my goal is really just to catch fuzzy mashes now. Just need to figure out the timing for that. And this should be dead. Super dead. Not super dead because Nago's a big boy. That's annoying. And another good throw tech. That's another good example that tells you that he's fuzzy mashing. Or fuzzy teching. Which is, to be honest, the proper answer there. Or fuzzy jab might be a little bit better actually. Round start DP, I was expecting him to try and stick out that 5k again. And 6p beats all of my non-low normals. Pain. Good management. Like I said, Patience is not really a high blood Nago, so you see him. Yeah, and that time I didn't go for the throw. I was trying to catch him with a button. I'll probably do it again. And right now he's giving me a ton of respect, so ooh, nice to see. Ooh, messed that up. Tried to punish with that should have been a punish. Gold burst is -10 and my heavy slash is 10 frames, so that should have been a punish on the gold burst, but I was a little bit late, so it traded. But got the big counter hit anyway and took that round.
What? You hungry?
Giovanna wins.
And I think this is a 6-round set. Patience was actually playing in another tournament, so we might have one more game of this. and then I'll go over to my matches with LK. But you can
Duel
see
1.
these matches are quite close. Um, and the style of matchup is a lot slower and more thoughtful than what we'll see in the next set, just because of the way that Patience is playing. That more stable style of his that's kind of forcing me to use different options. Ooh, walked into that. I'll probably burst, yeah. I don't really like any combo that has a DP in it. But because I burst, now I eat that. And fortunately, again, not big damage just because of the style that Patience plays in, where he's not using, I tried to throw him there, so that was a good command grab. Ooh. I was expecting him to Fukio in. It was obviously super, super wrong, so dead. It happens. I'm not super pressed about that. And yeah, like I said, because he is not swinging with big buttons, I'm trying to challenge with that dash 5K. Got kind of lucky there. Ooh. And that's the dangerous part of. Actually, I want to go back and look at that again because that's kind of important. Um, so yeah, because eat that. So the heavy slash there, that challenge, I think that's something that I don't really see Giovanna's do, but it's a really good option when Nagos try and fade step back and then do stuff. Especially on like a string like the the triple S string, where they like stop after two and fade step back or something like that. You don't have to give that to them as Giovanna. You can actually just stick out the heavy slash there, and it will tend to catch any type of Fukio things. And it's obviously big damage after, so you see me do that like a decent amount. Now that I've got the big counter hit, it was pretty far away, so I tried to go for something I've never tried before. Didn't quite work, but like I said, we've seen at this point that he's giving me a lot of he's dead. Yeah. He's giving me a lot of unearned pressure, really. He's not dead. Goodness gracious. Nago guts. Um, but he didn't FD that. But because he's playing so slow and he's having some good challenges, but he's not really making me afraid to stop pushing buttons and stealing turns. So I'm kind of just stealing them now pretty egregiously and slide under that far normal again. So I was trying to catch him backdashing there because he's backdashed after my 5K a few times. Ooh, very nice quick punish on his dart. And no point in me bursting, that's not a high damage combo. I was not expecting to get wall stuck there, so positive bonus is not great for me. And yeah, I stopped jumping because, or never mind, I jumped immediately after I said that. But generally speaking, trying to fight kind of grounded, I should have RC'd that. That'll be a burst, yeah. Ooh, and he dropped it, and now he's gonna die. So yeah, that was definitely his game. I shouldn't have won that, but as Sun Tzu or someone important once said, we
True,
take
but a
those.
jaguar cut might be
So that's
stronger.
all the matches that I had with Patience. Like I said, really strong Nago and kind of forces me to think about the matchup in a different way. So kind of working on like the grounded approach and not just punishing big options, but actually going to um, trying to challenge him when he's not giving me a ton of things where I can like seriously punish him. So I have to start using Geo's dash buttons a bit more. So good practice for that, and looking forward to the next time that I play Patience. And this next match, LK I played before, and I actually analyzed the set that we did, but I think that this is kind of worth it, especially after I played these two back to back, and I could really feel the differences in their play style. So thought that it'd be a good opportunity to, like I said before, just contrast the different options that you can use against different styles of players. So Patience is very patient in the neutral. He doesn't throw out things that are
Vampire that
big
they cannot
commits
keep
very
in
often.
society.
And LK is
Duel 1.
kind of the opposite.
Let's
He
rock.
likes to abuse Nago's big buttons.
Too
So
slow.
Um, One thing he does do that's better than patience though is he absolutely always challenges me after my 214K with like a 2K or something like that. He doesn't let me get away with just fake reset pressure. That's something patience definitely should start doing as well. And like I said, because LK is swings with so much larger buttons, I get to IAD at him like that. And it's a much bigger reward than, ooh, he ate that. Not quite close enough to get the follow up. But because he's, pushing those bigger buttons, I get to do IAD heavy slash, which is big damage on my part. Yeah, he RC'd that a little bit too late to get away with that. I was trying to chase the backdash, but nah though. And yeah, I've got 100 tension. I'm not gonna respect that. I don't mind dying, but if I can help it, I'm not gonna die with full meter. And that's why I walk back and am usually pretty chill on round start against Nagoriyuki, because I don't have burst right now. I can't be eating giant DP, DP counter hits at round start. It's just not worth it. And he FD'd, so he thought he could press, but that's not where you want to press the next X. And jab check, because I'm not going to let you shadow step in my face like that. And I feel like Nagos have gotten really used to being able to get away with that kind of thing. And it's certainly a good option, but a lot of the shadow steps that Nagos do are not safe, especially against someone like Gio, who's got the 4-frame jab. I tried to actually walk away from the DP, but got caught low. And yeah, LK, patience needs to challenge more, and LK really needs to challenge him a lot less, or he needs to be better about picking his spots, because he pushes buttons in situations where I've got a lot of leeway to just kind of eat him up as I please. That was a drop combo and into the super. I'm probably gonna burst when I get hit here. Yeah, that was a tilt burst. Backdash because he was super high blood, and yeah. And another, that's why we back away from LK, because he's kind of a nut on round start. Just challenged again, and because LK presses with the bigger buttons, I get to jump at him. And that should be the round, yeah. So it's kind of one of those situations where, like, you can see this fight is much more, I'm mauling quite a bit more, because LK's style, because he plays so aggressive and because his challenges aren't quite tight, I get to, he got me with a full screen shadow step. I'm probably not happy about that one. Just a few FDs, because I don't want him right in my face. And now he's in a bad situation again. Actually was trying to catch the backdash, but was a little bit early. And that should be not dead. That was me dropping super there. And I just wanted the plus frames there. Into the round. So yeah, it's not even the cleanest play on my part, but it's just one of those things where, like, there's a Machabo thing where he talks about, like, you have to be able to anti-air, because if you can't anti-air, then you don't get to play the next layers of the game. And that's kind of all this is, to be honest. I know that he wants to push his big buttons, so I'm just kind of placing myself in those ranges where the big buttons, nice 2H. I'm not going to let you just run up and do that. So he's probably dead here, yeah. So this is something that I feel like has become a lot more popular lately, with every Nago thinking that they're Hotashi and trying to pop in your face. And it's, it's kind of the right thing to do, if you can actually pull it off, because, hey, pop in someone's face is not particularly negative, but, like, there's a way to do it. You can't just spirit step randomly at me and think that that's going to work. Like you can keep Nago a lot more honest than that on those pops. And a bad challenge on his part. So the reason why you would push a button there is because the opponent has started, they're doing like run up 5k into this game or round. The reason why you would challenge there is because, you know, dash 5k into throw, but I haven't represented that once. So this is, if you see him getting clipped there, that's more an example of just being impatient where perhaps he doesn't need to be. Like, you can get away with being more patient on defense. That was me trying to reset pressure, not quite getting it the way that I wanted. That's probably a good burst because I was going to kill him in that situation, but he's dead now anyway. But yeah, if you're not sure how to FD Geo to peel her off of you, then that's kind of the situation that you wind up in. And like I said, these matches are just a lot more mauling because, you know, Patience was maybe a little bit too passive on defense, but LK kind of has the opposite thing going on, where he challenges a lot, but he's not necessarily challenging in great places. He's challenging where I have a lot of agency to kind of set the tone. And chase the backdash there. That was a pretty meaty close S. I try and do that a lot. Particularly when someone has meter like that. Either he was going to super me or he was going to miss my dash time. And that's so that was him. Oh, that's annoying. That was LK giving up, and I didn't like that for a very particular reason. I have no idea where I am in this match right now. I think that already happened. That's unfortunate that I lost my place like that, but what I was going to pause and say is, so he was going to die in that situation probably, and he just kind of stopped playing. And the reason in particular that I dislike that from him is because that was not the end of the game. And yeah, he's probably gonna die, but he didn't let his burst come back. I'm actually back on the Patience match. That's an oops. Man, I wish I hadn't done that. But yeah, so like, even if you're going to die, you know, give your burst a chance to come back. Even if you can't win. And we'll just stop here. I'm not sure where we were. Man, I don't believe I did that. Okay, this we had seen already, so he pops and he dies from this. So I think the next round is actually maybe where we were. Okay. So I think this is roughly about where we were before. It's unfortunate the way that that happened, but it's fine. And just kind of staggering pressure, bullying. See, I guess the next game is probably where we were, but we'll watch this because I don't want to mess it up, to be honest. Missed my micro dash there. That's the reason why that 5k into 6HS didn't work. It's a good challenge because that kind of reset pressure isn't real. And there was the burst that I was talking about before, where because he's struggling pretty hard to get me off of him because he's not sure what to FD, I don't hate that burst. Like you got to get her off somehow. But really the big thing is that the neutral matchup is really where LK is having a hard time. He's having a hard time on defense as well. But the neutral, I'm getting in for free a little bit too much because I know if I just sit still, he will swing with a 2S like he did there, or a 5H, or something that will give me an opportunity to clip him. And this will be the meaty YRC, or the meaty close that's to punish the YRC. And yeah, this is, so yeah, after he gets clipped by this, like, you need to fight, because you have a burst, and the longer you stay alive, the quicker you'll have access to that resource again. And then kind of for me within the game, what I see as a player is, okay, my opponent just quit, just straight up quit in that round. I'm going to absolutely bully the hell out of him because I know that he's tilted. I know that he's not really focused on things. So that's the counter hit only combo that I very, very rarely hit. The only reason why I hit it there is because I knew that he was going to, this is me waiting for the burst, and there's the punish because, hey, I'm negative there, and at this point, like I said, that tells me a lot about where your mental state is as a player. If you put the stick down before the round is over. So what you'll see now, I don't even know if actually we'll watch it, but for the entire set, but you'll see that my aggression is going to skyrocket between this match and all of the rest, because everything you do in a match tells the opponent something. And what I see when someone puts the stick down is, oh, I can't beat this guy. And I can't beat this guy is very, very close to I'm afraid to challenge him, or I'm not sure where to challenge him. So now I have the opportunity to just, look at that, just close at, just far as 3 times in a row until I finally, actually did the Gatling. Because at this point, I'm not afraid anymore. There's nothing that he can do at this point now that will make me scared. So you just see me resetting pressure repeatedly. So in addition to the, let your burst come back, it's also another reason why I dislike kind of putting the stick down in that way and just kind of stacking around, is because it lets the opponent, this was a first to 10, and something like that lets the opponent kind of know where your head is at. And if they're observant, oh, that was missed me. If they're observant, you can now punish those kinds of things. And just a little bit of FD just for that reason right there. That is why we FD in that situation, just to get him out of the range of the command grab. That was the wrong combo. So that right there was me getting cocky and feeling myself just a little bit too much. That was that combo it does work, but it's much harder than another combo that would have killed in that situation. So, shouldn't be feeling myself too much, right? Like, you still have to play to win. But yeah, like I said, I was already playing him much faster than I was playing Patience. But now you see that speed just increase again. And I wanted to chase the backdash, but I canceled that. I canceled into my forest too early. Missed my IED there. And challenge because that didn't look real. Missed my micro dash again. And because I missed the micro dash, I probably honestly shouldn't have broken the wall there, but that was kind of a tilt confirm. I missed one thing, so I wanted to, redeem myself, I guess. And that should be the round. I actually like that PRC. If he had waited just a little bit later to do it, he probably would have caught me running forward, because I was definitely going to try and chase a backdash off of that whip 2H. And you see me FDing just again because I want him, he's just spent a ton of blood, and I want him to be out of range for command grab. If he wants the command grab, I want him to have to spirit step into me so that I can check him. And I was just FDing there because I was expecting a ton of blood to be spent. And he should pop, yeah. That was a great air throw, but it doesn't matter, he's super dead. And that's again kind of the downfall. Popping in people's faces is strong, but if you are paying attention to the blood and kind of just making sure that you're on point with your jab checks, you can stop a lot of that stuff. So I do really like the adjustment that LK makes here, where he starts command grabbing me, because I've just been blocking, right? I've just been blocking and chilling this whole set. And there again is that far S, just to keep him honest on that fade step back. Jab check. Wow, I can't believe you let me get away with that. I'm trying to chase the backdash again, but I gotta work on the timing there for that chase. Ooh, and he tried to Probably run up throw, yeah.
Oh, you're done. Hunt you down.
Not strictly necessary to use the super there, but
Duel 2. Let's rock.
ooh, man, I really am missing that counter hit. Big buttons and block that.
Fear on
Yeah,
the
so at this point, I'm playing super fast, playing super aggressive, and just kind of at this point I'm in his head because he's not sure when he can challenge, where he can challenge, and what he should challenge with. So at this point, I get to just kind of abuse him.
Hey, no.
Um,
Is
we're only 2 matches away from the end of the first attempt, so I will let it finish. But I think the big thing here is just like you can tell the difference in styles. Like LK, the way he plays, if he gets hits, he will do significantly more damage to me than Patience will, just because of the routes that he tends to favor. So when it looks good for him, it looks like that, right? Where I just get completely smoked. Um, but because he is not really sure how to deal with that situation where I'm not running into his buttons, it just gives me it gives me a lot more opportunity to do big damage against him. Ditto the fact that he's not entirely sure where he should be challenging. So Nago has a ton of health, so he's probably still alive. Yeah, definitely still alive. But yeah, it's just a good example of where and how stable play can be very useful. I got really lucky there. Oh, pain. I don't believe that didn't. I don't believe that backdash chase didn't work. To be honest, I'm not sure if I was watching his blood when we were playing there or not. I don't think so. I definitely wasn't watching it just now. So he just spent a ton of blood. So I was good with that. Kind of wish I hadn't had to spin my burst like that, but at this point he's knocked down. So, oh wow, backdash, huh? I feel like that's really dangerous against Nago, but that was a good 6P. That's what I like to see. Like that's the kind of challenge that you want to. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. That's the kind of challenge you want to be doing. He respected my super. I showed some restraint, and now if he gets hit again, he's dead. And just like that. So I did take this set 10-0, so there's only one more match left. But hopefully this has been
true, but
kind of useful.
Duel 1.
Maybe even to Nago players, to be honest, more so than Geos. Just two different kind of ways to approach the fight. If the Nago is swinging with kind of big buttons, then you can get away with the approach that I'm using against him, just like that. If they're playing a slower style of neutral, then you'll need to come in with that, where you're trying to dash in and just kind of steal space. Great 6P. So, as I recall, LK, his anti-airs got much better in the last couple games, but at that point it's kind of done. So just difficult. And because I know that he's scared at this point, you know, I'm just kind of, again, get to bully, you know. Do a 2-1-4K, but I had metered. I had supered him before, so I'm just like, okay, I'll push a jab after and take my turn again. A little bit of rollback there. Those are great FDs, so that's more of that the next time we play. Once you FD in that situation, then the Geo they have to commit much harder to come in. You're going through the wall for that though. So FDing the close S is quite strong now, and it's definitely something that you should be doing if Geo's using it a lot. Trying to bait the burst there, but he was patient. That was supposed to be a super. Tried to air super him, would have been the game. And he tries to air throw, but I rarely go for air throws in that situation, and that would be the set. So there you have it. That's 16 or 17 matches versus Nagoriyuki as Geo.
You hungry?
Hopefully it's helpful for people, just kind of understand some of what I'm thinking as I play the matchup, and maybe some of the things that you should be thinking about if you know you're a Nago fighting against Giovanna in that way as well. So that is it for me. Hope you guys have a good one. Peace.